Hey guys, Claire here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. It's over, guys. Invictus Games has now come to an end. It's been an incredible week. I feel like it's been an overload, but now that it's over, I'm already experiencing withdrawals. The city of Dusseldorf has been so warm and supportive to the competitors, and I can't wait for the Winter Games in Canada in 2025, and I know I'm not the only one because I've been seeing a lot of commentary of people saying, you know what, it's closer to home for those of us that are in the US, and we're looking forward to attending and taking it all in personally. And I really loved that the Indigenous folk of Canada was included in some of the meetings and in the ceremony itself. So I am definitely looking forward to seeing more of that. It was also really nice to see Meghan just let loose and have a little fun. I feel like last year, you can kind of see that she was having fun and she loves being to the Invictus Games, but there's a sense of anxiousness when she has to do the speeches. So I'm glad that she just got to sit back, relax, support Harry, and have a good time. That fist bump had me chuckling. Now, Harry's speech was incredible and very emotional. Not surprised. I mean, his opening speech was spectacular as well.
We may have provided the platform, but you provided the magic. And don't you ever forget that. We've all witnessed the true impact sport has had on your recovery and on your post-traumatic growth. But you will never truly know the impact that your actions this week have had on millions of people around the world. You have opened people's hearts through your vulnerability, through your resilience, and through your sheer abilities. You have shown us that joy can emerge from struggle, and for that, we are eternally grateful. Yesterday, I met with Master Corporal James Gendron from the Canadian team in the Invictus 2025 tent. James, where are you? While we were chatting, I noticed bagpipes lying on the floor in the far corner. Some of you may know what bagpipes mean to me, so I couldn't help but hope that they'd be played. Little did I know that 30 minutes later, it would be James picking them up and offering to play. Yet I had no idea what they meant to him. Nor did I know what memories they triggered for him. In Afghanistan, he played 63 ramp ceremonies for 63 caskets, for 63 souls, for 63 families.
The president's speech was also quite stirring, and I love that he gave Harry such a nice shout out. It's such a stark difference between how the UK establishment responds to the veterans and to the Invictus Games versus the way the German establishment has been just absolutely incredible, just as the Netherlands establishment and government was incredible at last year's game. Again, there's a stark difference, and there's a lot of people who are taking notice.
I'm very grateful to the Duke of Sussex, as someone who himself has been in combat, for initiating and launching the Invictus Games 9 years ago. Thank you for that.
Now, apart from watching the actual games on live stream, I've really enjoyed listening to the stories of so many of the different competitors from around the world. My timeline on Twitter has been full of different military adjacent communities that have people who are competing in the Invictus Games, and they're posting a lot about their life stories, and I've really enjoyed that, seeing how they prep for it, a little bit of backstory about who they are, their injuries. It's very inspirational, and one of the things, the reoccurring theme that I've noticed is a sense of community. It's been so overwhelming, and not only has the Invictus Games really focused on creating that sense of community for the competitors, for the servicemen and women, but for their family members as well. You're seeing so many different engagements for the children to get involved in. You see Harry and Meghan giving out little medals to the kids. They're having little races. Even the dogs, the service dogs, weren't left out. So talk about a well-balanced, well-rounded sense of community where everyone is included. Now, speaking of the children's being involved, Meghan had a very quick book reading engagement with the children. I remember she had something very similar last year in the Netherlands, so that was nice to see. I'm sure she missed Archie and Lily while looking at the faces of those adorable little babies during story time. Now, seeing some of the children of the competitors has also been a highlight of this week. The little girl that was pushing her dad while they're in between the competitions. Eventually, I saw her having a little hug session with Meghan, or Harry just taking all the photos and selfies with the kids, him picking up a little girl and sort of putting her on the field so that she can go congratulate her father after his victory. Really sweet. Also, seeing the video of the school children running after Harry and Meghan in order to get selfies was so adorable. I saw some photos showing that some of the girls were lucky enough to snag a selfie with Meghan. This ties into what I've always said about Harry and Meghan. The children and even the little dogs seem to be very drawn to the Sussexes. And I think that they sense their light and jovial spirit, and there's something about them that connects with the little ones. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've noticed a very stark difference between the coverage of the games in the UK and the US. Now, quite honestly, I tried not to pay too much attention to the UK press this week, and happily enough, my timeline was spared a lot of chatter about the UK press and about the British royal family, and for that I am eternally grateful. It seems like the mute challenge someone initiated, I can't remember who it was definitely appreciated. But the very few headlines that I saw, you know, comical stuff, but it has been very refreshing to see the coverage here in the US. I mean, we started off with, was it CBS, and Gail and the other co-anchors doing an interview, positive, uplifting. Also, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I have seen a lot of segments coming out of Fox News throughout the week.
For wounded warriors after he served in Afghanistan to, quote, celebrate the unconquered human spirit. Correspondent Benjamin Hall has done that himself, and he is at the Games in Dusseldorf, Germany. He went through his own recovery from difficult injuries after an attack in Ukraine. Benjamin, good to see you. How is it going at the Games?
Martha, it's great to see you too, and it's been an amazing few days here. One of the amazing things is that a couple of the competitors, the American competitors, servicemen who have been hurt while serving, they were in hospital with me and recovered alongside me. For both of us to be here has been absolutely amazing. But it is the stories that you hear here, the most inspirational stories of people who have risked their own lives for their country, have bled for their country, and now come in here to show that they can do anything at all. Take a listen to a few of them we spoke to.
Keontae Story, a retired Marine corporal, stepped on an IED in Afghanistan in 2010 and lost his right leg. He says he felt lost afterwards and found that sports saved his life.
I found myself just in a very dark place, abusing my pain medication, really just didn't want any more to do with life. But I knew that wasn't me, that wasn't the old me either. And so whatever I was struggling with, I had to find a way out, and I found sports to be my exit plan.
Chris Farrell, a retired tech sergeant in the Air Force, had 5 deployments to Afghanistan and 1 to Iraq. He was wounded by an IED and suffered from PTSD. The stars on his tattoos represent 26 friends who died on the battlefield.
When you start hitting those low points, those dark spaces in your life, and then you're blessed enough to come here and be around all these other warriors, all these heroes from these different countries, it just reaffirms of why you're here and why you need to continue to be here and spread the message. It's not something you have to battle alone.
Now, last week we quickly touched on the fact that Charles nor William, but specifically Charles, did not see fit to leave even like the shortest of statements of congratulations and support to the veterans of UK who were attending the games. A lot of you guys in the comment section agreed that it was a little bit petty and messy, and it didn't make Charles and the establishment look good. Come to find out, there were actual veterans who made similar comments to the UK press, saying that, you know, it's just very telling that the Prime Minister nor anyone in the royal family sent any sort of support to the veterans. Of course, the story came out and the palace gave some lame little excuse, and they sort of twisted the story as always. It's interesting to see that more people are noticing the pettiness coming from the palace. Now, there was a lot of people on Twitter saying, you know, who cares about if Charles sent a statement of support to the veterans? NATO was involved. And to see the photos of the NATO family and Harry and Meghan during the games was such a sight to see. Apparently, the head of NATO invited so many different delegations and their families, and there was a nice big selfie group photo.
Oh, look, I pay enormous tribute to him and what he's done, right? I mean, you know, we were in the arena last night and you can see, you know, the lives he's changed are literally there right in front of you, right? And I think, you know, personally, I'm incredibly grateful to him. The nation's incredibly grateful to him for what he's done in this space. And I think it's a legacy he can be incredibly proud of.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This is what you're doing. Thank you. And you, thank you for supporting me. Yeah. So come on.
Now, on the lighter side of things, the fashion girlies have been fed for the week. I've been seeing so many fashion magazines like Vanity Fair and Harper's Bazaar and Vogue just going absolute crazy with all of the outfit changes that Meghan did. And I mean, not only were the magazines feasting this week, apparently the Sussex Squad, Harry and Meghan stands, or just fashion stands in general, were feasting because so many items of clothing that Meghan wore sold out this week. Like, it's crazy. The Banana Republic dress, her J. Crew sweater, her Ralph Lauren vest, that Havana button shirt that she wore to that little dinner that they did for Harry's birthday, her Hermes sneakers, her sunglasses, the Carolina Herrera denim dress, all sold out. Now, one of my most favorite memories from this week will be Meghan being so fully embraced by the Nigerian aunties in the crowd, and you could see Harry holding on to her and that poor bodyguard is trying to like set up some sort of buffer between Harry and Meghan and the aunties, but they were not having it. You know, laughs, conversations, selfies, and it was so sweet. They even gave her a new name, which is Amira Ngozi Lolo, which I believe translated to Warrior Princess, Ngozi for blessed, and Lolo for royal wife. I mean, this week had so many emotional and inspirational moments, and I'm already in withdrawals, you guys. I miss them already. I miss seeing the competitors. I miss seeing Buddy. Buddy was also a highlight of mine this week. Whoever is the within that mascot suit or is involved in all of the things that Buddy had to do prior to the game and during the game has done a phenomenal job, because Buddy was just, he was working it. before the games, during the games, and I know he's probably tired. But I'm hoping to see Buddy in next Invictus Games in Canada.
These two might be the Duke and Duchess of Sussex technically, but I'm thinking that this time of year we need to call them Mr. and Mrs. Invictus. Because Meghan Markle has joined Prince Harry in Dusseldorf for day 3 and 4 of the Invictus Games. She arrived on Tuesday evening and attended a friends and family reception. She gave a little impromptu speech. Everyone was just so happy to see her. I mean, not least of all the Daily Mail, because they have been writing, it feels like a story every couple minutes about Meghan. Somebody was starving over there. They are also very happy to see her. Then today, Wednesday, these two attended some of the events. They were at the wheelchair basketball game and some of the children's competition. The way that these two are just radiating love and happiness actually was giving me vibes of Meghan's first Invictus appearance. This was in 2017. She attended as Harry's girlfriend, but like they were just so into each other then, and nothing has changed now, what, 6 years down the line? And I have to say, Meghan's style at the Invictus Games so far is exactly why I end up missing her when she's off the scene. Tell me this isn't the perfect way to blend formal and casual, approachable, but also the perfect way to dress for this weird time of year where it's hot, but also we want it to be fall. Upon arriving on Tuesday, Meghan stepped into a $70 Banana Republic shirt dress. It has since sold out. The shirt dress also felt very quintessentially Meghan. She loves a shirt dress. Has for years. This one is a very close example that she wore on her Australia tour in 2018. Today, she was wearing a J. Crew sweater. Their website crashed after this piece was identified. And this is exactly the type of outfit I think you would wear. This isn't like an official royal engagement, but she is the wife of the founder of the Invictus Games, but she's not there in any official capacity. She's there to mix and mingle and be supportive. Comfy, cute, approachable, all words that apply here. But we're still working within Meghan's normal, polished, elevated style. The way she continues to hit the nail on the head every time. I'm so excited to see more, and that is the power of good royal styling. Another thing I noticed with these outfits that center very affordable, accessible pieces, the Daily Mail isn't price checking her in their headlines anymore. They've talked about like pieces of jewelry that she's worn and they've listed those prices, but that's not forming the backbone of their coverage of the Invictus Games now. And I think that was such a genius move on Meghan's part. Wear things that are a little bit more affordable and force the hand of the media so that they focus on the Invictus Games themselves. In general, the Daily Mail's coverage of Meghan at the Invictus Games has been way less unhinged than it normally is. It's almost bordering on positive, but like for them, anything neutral is positive for Meghan. They are still doing some kind of weird stuff, calling her just wearing baggy shorts a very leggy display. But in general, things are less deranged today. And we love to see it. Just goes to show you what I've been kind of saying all along. The Daily Mail, palace sources who love to leak about Meghan, and deranged royalists, they're all just fans of Meghan. They are watching her every move and eating it all up. Former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson's wife, Carrie Johnson, shared an interesting royal tidbit on the anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's death, and it got my royally curious conspiracy brain churning. Because I think this gives us a little bit more insight into some of the things that Meghan Markle may have experienced during her time as a working royal. Last week, Carrie Johnson, Boris Johnson's wife, shared this note that was left on her pillow while she stayed at Balmoral for an official visit. It reads, "Ma'am, Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth, will be wearing an ice blue cocktail dress for dinner this evening." I think that the goal here is twofold. Number one, telling a guest what the Queen is wearing ensures that nobody will be under or overdressed, but telling them the color of the dress is also interesting to me. Say, for example, the Queen showed up wearing this bright orangey pink ensemble. You wouldn't really want to match her. You also really wouldn't want to clash with her, especially if photos were being taken. Meghan has talked about how it was her understanding when she was a working royal that you were never really supposed to match your outfit to the color being worn by a senior royal, at least for public engagements. I mean, and you can see hints of this across her entire time with the royal family. She almost blends into the background here because she's wearing beige, the Queen is in orange, Camilla's in red. For her first Trooping the Color, Kate, the Queen, and Camilla all wore light blue. Meghan was left in the back, by the way, in this dusty rose color. Not a color you would want to wear if you were trying to stand out, but rather one you would wear if you didn't want to clash with anybody. I don't think think don't match the Queen is a hard rule. Here you can see a Trump visit to Buckingham Palace where all three of the women, the Queen, Melania, and Camilla, are all wearing white. Here's another from the Obama visit to Buckingham Palace. You can see the Queen and Michelle both wearing white. As is the case with most instances of royal protocol, I think this is a case where you kind of just know instinctively what to do. If you're receiving this note, you know what to do with it. Meghan's tendency towards neutral colors kind of tells me that she might not have been receiving this same information. There are actually rumors that the Queen's dresser and longtime friend Angela Kelly, that's her right there next to Anna Wintour, took a disliking to Meghan, although I have to point out that she denies that. But the speculation is that Angela Kelly set Meghan up to fail when it came to everything like royal fashion related. I don't really think it's a coincidence that the only royal jewels that Meghan was tending to wear were either personal pieces belonging to Princess Diana, which presumably Harry had and gave to Meghan to wear, or were highly controversial pieces. These earrings in particular caused a big fuss on the internet right before the Oprah interview, actually. They were a gift from the Saudi crown prince who in 2018 approved the murder of a journalist. Other royal women get access to the depths of the royal vaults, even pieces that belonged to Queen Elizabeth herself, and it doesn't really sit well with me that Meghan never had access to these brooches that are so symbolic and form the backbone of a lot of Kate's symbolic dressing. So for me, seeing this note goes beyond like confirming or vindicating all of the things that Meghan was saying about how you're never supposed to clash with the royals. It suggests to me that she was cut out entirely and like left out in the cold. If these notes are getting distributed for something like a private dinner that will never be photographed, then how did we end up with these pictures from Prince Louis's christening? How was Meghan the only one that didn't get the light blue and ivory note? I mean, and it didn't stop with the immediate family. Even the Middletons were in on this one. What's more likely, that Meghan would have tried to steal the show in a muted olive green dress, or that this kind of petty family hung her out to dry?
You know, one thing that I see royal commentators say a lot is that the reason that Harry and Meghan were pushed out of the royal family was because like Charles and Camilla and Will and Kate wanted all of the attention to be on them. But that like doesn't really seem to be the case, because like Charles and Camilla and Will and Kate don't really seem to like to work. Like they're not like out in the community like kissing babies with the huddled masses, you know, like they're not doing that really, you know what I mean? And when they are, it looks like, you know, like they're being held at gunpoint in order to do it, you know what I mean? Like they are not enjoying it. And then you look at like Harry and Meghan, like at the Invictus Games, like they are having the time of their goddamn life. They are having so much fun. They're shaking hands. They're running around trying to like make sure that everybody gets a picture and everybody gets a hug. Like they are out there like in like their element, like having so much fun. You know what I mean? And so it's just weird. Like why, like if Charles, Camilla, Will, and Kate, like if you guys don't like working, why would you push out the only two people of your family who seem to actually like to work and are good at it and actually like bring new people like under the fold of like the royal whatever the hell, you know what I mean? Like it just seems so like short-sighted. It's like, you guys don't want to work, you know what, fine, I don't like to work either, you know what I mean? Like that's real, you know? But like if somebody came to me and was like, hey, I'm gonna do all of your work for you and I'm gonna make sure that you get all of the credit and that you look really, really good, the only thing that I ask of you is that you not be racist towards me. Like if that was like, if someone came to me and that was like their request, I would be like, done, say less. You know what I mean? What, you just want me to be nice to you and like not be racist to you and like not let people like lie on your name? Like that's all you want from me, and then you're gonna go do all of my work and make me look good? Like imagine the ego you must have to be like, no. You know what I mean? Like, are you dumb? Because that's what happened, right? Like Harry and Meghan were like, hey, like we're happy to do this work. Like we will do it. We'll do it in the name of the Queen. We'll do it in the name of the King. We'll do this work. You guys just have to be nice to me, and you can't let people say racist shit about me. Like that's all. That's all we're asking. And the royal family was like, no. Like it just goes to show like how antiquated and how stupid monarchy is in the 21st century.
So first of all, Meghan said this.
What are you? 43% Nigerian. No way! No!
Then Harry said this.
My favourites in our home, but since my wife discovered that she is of Nigerian descent, it's likely to get a little bit more competitive this year.
So of course you just know. Something like this is going to get Nigerians really out in full force to claim Meghan. I mean, she's a real live black princess. So yeah, Nigerians are not about to joke with this new member of our nation, and you just have to look on Twitter to see the reactions to this. I mean, just look at this. This person is already out to fight America for her. And this one. So he's already claiming bride price for Meghan. Like, of course, I mean, you married a Nigerian woman, Prince Harry. So yes, you are going to pay a bride price for Meghan. And God help you when you come to Nigeria for that. This one killed me. It's like, and for the purpose of this negotiation, she's an Igbo girl, and another to be specific. Oh my God. Because there is this narrative in Nigeria that Igbos are the ones with, you know, the bride, when it comes to the bride price culture, Igbos have it like here. We aim to disable a man, a potential groom, of all his wealth when he comes to ask for a wife. So yeah, and they say a number, I don't know about a number, but yeah, Igbo is, yeah, I'm Igbo, and I know for a fact that we are very, almost criminal when it comes to the bride price culture. And then you have this, I mean, she already has a name, Amira Ngozi Lolo. I mean, it should be Lolo Ngozi Amira. I mean, I don't know. I think Amira is Hausa, but Ngozi is Igbo. And Lolo is definitely Igbo. But yes, you know, we already gave her a name. She belongs to Nigeria now. It doesn't matter that it's 43%. She's Nigerian, she's Nigerian, and she has to have a Nigerian name. So yeah, there you go. Lolo Ngozi Amira. Nigerians are, oh my God. And then this one is really quite sweet. It says, Harry will be there to pay double with love in his heart and a smile on his face. It just goes to show that as much as the British media and some of the British public, the derangers, as they are well known, as much as they like to deny the validity of the marriage between Harry and Meghan, as much as they like to peddle these lies about, oh, they're getting divorced, you know, the reality that everyone sees, the reality that is very apparent to the whole world is that Harry and Meghan are very much in love. That's it. I mean, they said so in the Netflix documentary, that is basically a love story. What they are doing in that documentary is just their love story. And so I don't, this love in his heart and a smile on his face, if that doesn't spell a man who is satisfied and happy with who he is and where he is and who he's with, I don't know what does. And he did say it in that interview he did when he was promoting Spare. He did an interview on, I've forgotten this late night talk show. And he said the things that characterize his life now are freedom, happiness, clarity, love. So there you have it. But wait, before you have all this freedom, clarity, love and everything, Harry, you still have to come to Nigeria and pay bride price for Meghan. Just saying.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell.